What's up, y'all? I got a rant. And look, God, before I start talking, make sure I say things the right way. Check me if I'm about to be too angry, right? Take away the anger. Don't let me be angry when I talk to these people right now. Let me just break it down in a way that they can understand. I shared a post this morning asking for prayers for Candace Owens, right? It was somebody else's post. So this is what the post reads, right? And this is from Patrick Hampton. Okay. The post reads, still praying for my friend. And this is his friend. This is Candace Owens' friend. He said, I'm still praying for my friend. She is burning every bridge back to normalcy. If she doesn't repent and listen to her husband, she will be Kanye within a year. This is a text, which, by the way, I guess her husband's telling her to calm it down. You ain't heard that, right? All the people in Candyland ain't heard that. Her husband, who she said, if her husband or Erica tell her to chill, then she'll stop. Okay? This is a textbook lesson why the Bible teaches us not to make accusations against anyone unless you have 2 or 3 witnesses. Satan is the accuser of the brethren. People are hurt and still in shock that we lost our greatest Christian conservative leader. There is a void in our government. We all want to know what happened and who did it. However, we are not going to accuse everyone that blinked an eye that day. It's only a matter of time that she assessors, I guess, I don't know if he spelled that wrong. His parents, I think it's accuses is what he meant to put, accuses his parents, who has ties to the CIA. He spelled toes, who has ties to the CIA and Stanford. I love my friend Candace, but she is acting like Charlie's bitter widow and not a trusted friend. I said that the other day. That's funny that he said this. I said she's acting like a bitter baby mama, right? I admire Erica Kirk's silence, resolve, and Christian wisdom. That's why Charlie chose her as a wife. Meek, humble, submissive, and quiet. And I agree, right? I agreed with that, so I shared it. Now, in sharing it, I look in my comments and I see people. Now, if you disagree with what I shared, or you disagree, that's cool to disagree. But when you come into my comments and start attacking people who also agree with that post, and you start calling them names and all these accusations, you seem like a leftist. And some of them say that they're J6ers. Now, I don't know all the J6ers. I know the people that I was locked up with, the ones that was in DC DOC with me, right? I don't know all the J6 community. But just because you call yourself a J6er does not give you a right to question. Talking about this is one of the this is one of the comments. This right here. Let me read this to you. Cash Kelly, for someone who got unfairly prosecuted for J6, you have strayed far from who I thought you were. You putting trust in the feds on this with all the so obvious holes in the official narrative is very strange. Well, you know, it's strange to me that you think that there are so many holes in the official narrative. For me, the official narrative makes more sense than trapdoors, makes more sense than a second shooter, makes more sense than everybody betraying Charlie Kirk, makes more sense than Trump and Bibi Netanyahu and the feds giving a holiday, or Trump giving a holiday. So he has to be a part of it. The official narrative makes far more sense to me than what Candace is saying. And that's my opinion. Not knocking nobody for their opinion. That's my opinion. And just because I'm a J6er who got did wrong by a previous administration, who's no longer in power, right? You talk about trusting the feds. It's not about trusting the feds. I trust Cash Patel. I like Cash Patel. I mean, his name's Cash, so that got to add something. I don't know anybody named Cash that's not dope. You know what I'm saying? I trust Dan Bongino to an extent. So you talk about trusting the feds. It's not the feds. Then you go on. You go on. Where's it at? Let me find this. This is crazy. You say, aren't you a J6er? Why are you going along with the Fed narrative? Kash Patel is covering up for Michael Byrd and Lila Morris, refusing to charge them for murdering protesters on J6. So why do you still trust him with the Charlie Kirk investigation? You assume that he is covering up for Lila Morris and Michael Byrd. I don't agree. You showed me a post from the Daily Wire. Kash Patel shuts down Charlie Kirk foreign intelligence probe, an explosive feud with Trump's counter-terror chief. Bro, who cares? Who cares? And you're talking about he's trying to shut down the J6 stuff with Lila Morris and Michael Byrd. It's not about shutting it down. When you had the previous administration in there, they had I don't know how true this is, but this is what I was told. Good morning, everybody in the chat. I see you. My bad. This is what I was told, right? A lot of us was told that was in J6, that was locked up in DC DOC, that on that day, the feds or the Capitol Police or the Metropolitan Police, whoever, the Metropolitan Police and the Capitol Police had a shoot to kill order. Like they could have killed people that was attacking. And they did. Does it make it right? No, it does not make it right. It's wrong. Whoever gave them that order, if that is in fact true, it's messed up. It is wrong, right? Previous administration, but they were acting within their job description at that point. Was it horrible? Yes. The loss of life is tragic because we was just protesting. But how do you charge somebody who was given an order from higher up to say that this is okay? So it's not Kash Patel covering up. Maybe they're going after the people who gave the order, which is what I think. And Lucretia Hughes yesterday gave me a little bit of hope for that. Gave me a little bit of hope for that, saying, no, it's bigger than you think. They're going after the top. And I believe that. I'm feeling hopeful again that that's exactly what's going on, is that they're investigating and they're going after the people at the top. But for you to come on mine and then you calling people names and all this in the comment section, dog, look, listen, you entitled to have your opinion. If you don't like mine, cool. Don't be a jerk off in my comment section to people that agree with whatever it is that I post. Don't do that because you come off like a straight up leftist, bro. Like a leftist. You want me to trust Candace Owens because I don't trust the feds? Make that make sense. So anybody that comes along and pokes holes in any kind of story out there about anything, if the feds got the story first and somebody pokes holes in it, I'm to trust that person just because I don't trust the feds. That kind of logic is stupid. It's stupid. Remedial. And then you say you don't trust the feds. That's all good and well to me. But Candace Owens came out and had to admit that the feds was right, bro. Charlie Kirk was indeed shot from the front. The bullet was indeed underneath the skin. But now it's pivoted. But the gun's different. Now she had to pivot it and change it. First, it was he wasn't shot from the front. The Fed said, no, he was shot from the front. And the bullet was lodged under the skin. We know that. Oh, nope, don't trust the feds. They're lying. They're lying. So the feds was truthful in that, and she had to come back out and say, hey, everybody, this is true. What else is she going to have to come back out and say, hey, this is true? I understand the things that a lot of people went through with January 6th, losing everything. I understand it. But some of y'all just take it too far, bro. Some of y'all take it too far and you've gotten so detached from reality. I don't know if you was like us, you was in solitary confinement, and it's, people go crazy in solitary. If you spent years in prison like we did, you understand that. You've seen people literally go crazy. But you have to acknowledge that if you're going to start to heal yourself, you got to understand, like how I do. The things that was done to me when I was locked up and the treatment that I endured when I was locked up, I went through something. So I have to be careful in the way that I speak, in the way that I believe, and the way that I view the world, because my reality when I first came home was different than the reality that everybody else was living. The reality that everybody had living in the world that they were going through and life and how they responded to things was different than me coming home from prison and getting back acclimated to the temperature of the world, because the temperature that I just came out of was completely different. Okay? Some of y'all fail to realize that. Everything's not a conspiracy. Are there conspiracies? Hell yeah, for sure. 100%. I still got my, theories about a lot of things. 9/11, the JFK assassination, the moon landing. I question a lot of stuff. I love conspiracy theories. Hollow Earth, that one's fun. They shattered my flat Earth theory, because that one was fun too. But that's gone. We can't believe that anymore because, Antarctica, sun. But do you see the willingness? That's the difference. The willingness to accept things that are in reality once they're proven. Once things are proven to you and then you reject it, well, then you're just crazy. You're just crazy. That's all that is. No, you want to stay stuck in the fantasy. You don't want to accept a reality. It's more easy. It's easier to cope. That's what it comes down to. And a lot of people are finding it hard to believe anything that is actually fact. That's it. So many people that used to be conservatives or call themselves J6 patriots, you are basically Antifa now. You're basically leftist. You're basically leftist. Just flat out put an anarchy symbol on your forehead and roll on out there and start looting. Go ahead. Start doing what they do. You're already name calling people that you disagree with. That's a leftist thing. The right is the left and the left is the right. It's like you can't even see the difference anymore. It's centrists, the moderates, the people that are in the middle that are the only ones that are sane now. That's the way I feel about it. Some of you are so far gone. It is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can't believe all these comments. I'm a J6er too. Most of us are supporting Candace and don't trust the feds after seeing what they did to us. And I hate when people do that. Most of us, J6ers, don't speak for me. Just because we both went to J6, just because we both went to prison, maybe some of y'all didn't even go to prison. Talking about your J6ers. Some of y'all didn't even go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Not to knock you. I'm glad that you didn't go to prison. But stop trying to latch on and make this whole big community like we're all the same. We're not all the same, obviously. There's people that do top tier grifting. There's people that are top tier racists. There's people that are top tier nut jobs that I don't associate with, that I want nothing to do with, which is why I took J6 out of my title of anything that I got going on. Not that I'm ashamed of being a J6er. I'm proud of the fact that I'm a J6er. And I love my good J6 brothers, the ones that I know. I love my brothers. They know who they are. Those are my guys. Even the ones that I'm salty at, right? Or they salty at me. I love them. Those are my guys. We was in a foxhole. You know what I'm saying? But all these extras that are coming out the woodworks, oh, we're the same because we're J6. We are not the same if you're out here being a top tier grifter, a top tier racist, or a conspiracy nut that goes in people's comment section calling people names because they disagree. No, you're a moron. You're an idiot. And we're not the same. Okay? That's just that. Call it what you will. Y'all are pushing. You pushing. And I try to be real kind, and it's not my nature. It's really not. It's not my nature to be kind and to be, somebody that's passive and just bites his tongue. That's not my nature. It's something that I practice. I've been practicing it. But today, yeah, y'all got me pissed off, man. Y'all got me pissed off. Don't latch on to me. Don't latch on to me. You was at J6. You call yourself a J6er. That's all good. Do your thing. We're not the same. In my opinion, and this is just for me, not to shade nobody that was in a prison somewhere else or you was locked up somewhere else. If you wasn't in DC DOC with me and the brothers going through what we went through where we were, because we endured treatments that nobody else endured. Okay, let's make that clear. Not to take away, you probably went through some things too where you were at, but where we were at, we went through some things. We have a unique experience. Don't latch on to me. Don't latch on to us And most of the brothers ain't gonna tell you this, but they all feel the same way. You know, when I first came home and the pardons first happened, when brothers first came out, we had our own little club, the C2B club. Yeah, there was other people that were out there saying, oh, I'm a J6er, I'm a J6er, I'm a J6er. We had our own little club, the C2B club, because we endured things that y'all didn't go through. We have experiences and things that we went through that y'all did not go through. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. Oh, my bad. Let me check out some of these comments and I'll get back to it. So, good morning, everybody. By the way, good morning. Good morning. Says, Project says she's not the only one poking holes, but she is the one with the biggest following. Agreed. I agree. And I'm not against her poking holes. Let me state that for the record for everybody. I'm not against anybody questioning the narrative at all. That's not what my beef is with Candace, and that's not what that post was about. The dude in there that made that post, he's seeing the same thing that I'm seeing that the people stuck in Candyland can't see. It's beyond the questions. It's insinuating and accusing people of being involved in their friend's death. How do people not understand this? His closest friends. She is accusing them of having a part in his death. It's beyond questioning the feds now. But y'all can't see that. That's the problem that we have. You want to challenge the feds? Hey, go for it. Do your thing. Don't care. But you got kids, man. This dude's 20-something years old. You over here trying to implicate him. Talking about everyone. Charlie was betrayed by everyone. You have a big following and you're putting that out there, making people look at everybody with a side eye that has anything other to say. And nobody got a problem with that? Y'all just accept that because you don't trust the feds. No, but we trust Candace. So yeah, she's got to be right. Everybody betrayed him. Everybody betrayed him. And if you question Candace, oh, you're wrong. You're the devil. You're slow. I see the right acting like the left now. The party is fractured. It definitely is. Hey, what's up, Kelly? Lisa, good morning. Good morning. You are healing from being institutionalized. Its effects are a lifetime of working on yourself. 100%. 100%. I'm good at it, though. I've been getting a lot better. It's very sad. Got caught a POS because I didn't believe a word Candace says. Exactly. That's my whole thing. People are out of their mind. So true, Cash. So true. It's frustrating. They've used identity politics to divide, then divide the divide. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Donna. Good morning. Hit that like button. Yeah, thank you. Do you think Candace is doing what she is doing because it takes the attention off the Bridget McCrone thing? No, not at all. Honestly, I can't begin to understand the mind of a lunatic. I think that Candace is crazy. I think she's like schizophrenic. She's talking about prophecies and visions and all these things, and she's going off feelings and vibes. And she literally reminds me of somebody I was locked up with that was schizophrenic, bro. That's the God's honest truth. Being 100% with y'all, she seems like a deranged woman. That's what it seems like to me. That's just my opinion. I don't know Candace, but watching her, she seems out of there. And people just like, I don't know. I guess the conspiracy lovers it just right up their alley for them. All right. Don't fall for the racism cries, please. Yeah, for real. It's a shame the direction she is in. Used to like watching Candace, but she is so different now. Yeah, for sure. Candace is being threatened. I feel she doesn't look right. Could be. I don't know. I know that she was being threatened by the people that she's talking about, and she definitely crazy because she thinks that they got all the power in the world to do something, and they ain't did nothing to her. They ain't did nothing to her yet, and she's still talking. So again, it's just logic goes against it. She's doing it because she and others were intentionally shocked, traumatized, and want answers to the disappearance of her friend she loved. Period. That's your take. You have the right to have that take. I have knowledge of psychology and operations that many of you don't. Okay. It's all in our books in front of me. You need to read it too, Cash. I've taken psychology classes. I've taken anthropology classes, college courses. I understand. But that doesn't make you any more knowledgeable than anybody else. You sound like Candace right now, talking about what she's read and the things that she studied. And okay. That part in Trump. Thank you, Krisha. Yep, she's possessed by anti-Israel, anti-evangelical demons. Yeah, Yeah. Why are you acting so surprised? This can happen. It's happened time and time again, especially when the CIA is involved. There's a ton of eyebrow raising moments in the CK event. I'm not saying that there isn't. They're all full of hate. And Candace, I think, is tearing down the MAGA movement because she is now pro-Palestine Hamas because they are against Israel and Christians. Now, that's a real possible narrative. You know, when we talk about the whole conspiracy stuff, right? How do we know that she's not a controlled opposition literally there to splinter the movement? Because everything that she's saying is baseless, bro. Every single thing that she keeps on saying that she got but doesn't put out, every single hole that she leaves people down, there's literally not a shred of evidence. It's all just a possibility with nothing to back it up. Nothing to back it up. What if she is paid by opposition to splinter the movement, man? Because that's what it feels like. I ain't seen nothing yet. I've seen nothing yet to make me believe anything that she's saying, except for Charlie Kirk felt pressured and was thinking about bringing her on stage out of anger because they didn't want Tucker platformed. That's the only thing that she's shown that insinuates that what she's saying is true about that topic. But everything else, nothing. I ain't seen nothing. If folks are going to pump this hard for them, you should at least apply for the funds it earns. It could pay your bills. Binary, little comments like that make me want to cuss you out. It really does. Because, and I'm just going to be real. You come off so condescending over Candace Owens, and is all you do is just watch videos like everybody else. You watch videos and you read articles, and then you go and make these little extravagant claims just like Candace. But you know what you're not doing? You're not waiting for a report to come out to see if they're in fact lying. Nobody's even waiting. Nobody's seen the trial yet. We don't know all the evidence that they have or what they're going to come out with. Everybody's just making a conclusion. Again, retarded. Like and share this out. Appreciate you, Rose. You don't have to trust her to listen just like I listen to the feds and don't trust them. Exactly. Exactly. It is how I discern. That's exactly right. That part right there, D. That's exactly right. She is cray cray. Drink some Kool-Aid. She definitely puts the con in conspiracy. You have role pay. Now you have role pay now to listen to her. Yeah. I don't know. She's a nut. I refuse to even listen to her. Too much hate for me. I feel you. She is not the same. I have a problem with someone daily talking about Charlie Kirk and let him rest in peace. I don't know what else to say. I feel you, Lisa. It was after she didn't get in Trump's admin. Yo, that's a real point too. That is for real a thing. Like but let's be honest. She's not smart enough to be in politics, y'all. I've said this back in 2020 when they put her out there as the face of, talking about the black community as a negress. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. They said, look at this negress right here. Let's put her in front of the camera and have her talk about black folks. That's what she was. And then when her job was done, she faded. Spark it back up. Talk about Bridget McCrone. That's what happened. She lost her job. They put her out. Now she hates the Jews. It's just this. It's one thing after another. She's got to be shocking because she was losing. She was losing everything that she helped build. And now she's losing credibility amongst people. Go into her comments. You don't believe me. Go into her comments. Her own people. I meant she puts the con in conspiracy. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care, Binary. I'm not pulling your comments up no more. You made me mad. Still love you, but you made me mad. She thinks she's warring against enemies, but this demon wants war with God, and she's about to get it. I'm praying for her still. Me too. Let me see. Yep. Holla. Exactly. You guys get it. She's off her rocker. Exactly. Russo, you got time, bro? Can I send you a link? Can you come on and add some sense to this, bro? Because people think that because you disagree with Candace Owens that you're somehow trusting the feds. It's crazy. It's not trusting the feds. The only thing that we saying is that we don't trust what Candace is saying because she hasn't provided anything to make me trust her. At first, she gets you scratching your head and you're like, oh my God, this is interesting. And then nothing follows except for a bunch of conspiracies and thoughts and feelings and vibes and text messages from people that are not her. No, 2018 text messages between her and Charlie that somehow equate into a prophecy about what's going on today. And it's just, come on. Come on. All right, I'm about to send it to you right now, Russo. Let's bring Russo in, man. Jesus. It's insane. Check your Facebook, Rusi. Oh, you guys. It really got me hot. It got me hot today, man. Paste. All right, just sent to Russo. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. It's got me hot today. It does. It does. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Candace Owens has caused literally people within the J6 community. And there's supposed to be the brotherhood, J6 brotherhood, is causing people that are in the J6 community to come into other J6's posts that disagree and talk about, oh, you trusting the feds now. I'm so shocked. I can't believe this. It's not who I thought you were. And just come, shut up, bro. Shut up. Nigga, you don't know me. You do not know me. Talking about you thought who you thought I was. Nigga, you don't know me. What you mean who you thought I was? You don't know me. I've never met you a day in my life. I don't know you. Trust, nigga, shut up. It got me, oh God, forgive me, man. I'm telling you. It just pisses me off though. It really does. It pisses me off because you got so many and they're betas. Like they're betas, bro. Somehow these dudes think, oh, I was locked up for J6, so I'm tough. Nigga, bro, I'm looking at your Facebook. You look like somebody that, bro, you look soft. A lot of y'all that talk this rah-rah He-Man, you're not built like that, bro. You're not. Cut it out. What's up, brother? My bad, man.
Hey, what did you say my bad to?
Cause I'm over here ranting. I'm pissed off. These dudes they're stupid. Can we say retarded, or is that something that we still can't say?
Kid Rock said it on Fox News last week, so you can say really whatever you want. Sorry, I'm finishing my coffee here at the coffee machine at the airport. Why is it still pouring? Almost done.
You're good.
What are you ranting? Go ahead and tell me what you're ranting about.
Okay, so these dudes, right? Jump in my comment section because I shared a post saying, this dude made a post talking about praying for Candace because, Satan is the accuser and that's her. She's his friend. And he's like, we're not supposed to be like that. That's causing dissension within the group. And Satan is supposed to be the accuser. We don't accuse the brethren. And the Bible says that's why we don't accuse people unless you have 2 or 3 witnesses and what she's doing is wrong. And he basically was just scolding her just a little bit with biblically, like a brother with love. You know what I'm saying? So dudes come in my comment section talking about, I can't believe this, Cash, after the feds did what they did to you and you're a J6er. How do you trust the feds? And I didn't even say nothing. I shared a post. I ain't commented. I just seen pray for Candace. You know what I'm saying? And they start running with these narratives. And it's like, bro, first off, you don't know me. These dudes that they're popping about the woodwork saying that they're J6ers all on my page, which is all good, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? But they act like we're this big old club, like we're some big old clique and they have a right to, they know me in some type of, you don't know me. You don't know me. Why are you on here disrespecting my people that are like my family on my page, followers or whatever you want to call them, but they like my family and they talking crazy to the people in my comments. And I'm like, bro, you think just because you got a J6 card that makes you special, Negro? Nigga, I don't know you. I don't know you.
So you got a black card and a J6 card. That's pretty impressive.
And I got a white card. My mom's white. She gave it to me.
I love your mom.
Yeah.
So I was actually, it's funny you're talking about this because obviously I've appreciated the fact that you've moved a little bit towards center in terms of the Israel question. I think both you and I stand about the same spot that we need to stop funding all of that crap. But at the same time, like there is this weird, massive, odd anti-Semitic move, and you can't deny it. I mean, people are denying it, but I don't understand how they are. And kind of the leader of that is this Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens, and now Tucker Carlson jumping on it. Now Candace Owens is the next level. Like she's just lost her mind. The other two Nick has been a crap human being forever. And now he's trying
At
to move
least he's funny
mainstream.
though. You know, at least Nick's funny. Like I give him
So
that.
if
He's a
you
piece
want
of crap, but he's funny.
you want me to give my opinion on Nick Fuentes, the fact that somehow he has said all the things he said in the past, and this is where my epiphany came from, because I think Candace is even she's too far gone to talk about. Yeah, you can pray for her, but Nick Fuentes, he has said so many awful things, including about Tucker Carlson within the
Hmm.
last like 7, 8 months. And then for him to be able to like go on his show, say whatever he wants, have like a
Softball questions, not push back
softball
on
questions
anything.
from Tucker
Yeah.
Carlson. To me, if you want the and he's somehow infiltrating a lot of
Psyop.
mainstream Christian views. To me, if you want me to say what the Antichrist looks like, it's somebody like a Nick Fuentes that comes out of nowhere, that's been discredited forever, and somehow nobody's holding him to account. He scares me. And yes, he is funny. He's got a little charming side to him, but he's a demon, man. That's my
Well, bro,
opinion on
it's
him.
like it's for me. I'm seeing a massive psyop. That's what I see personally. I think all of it is a massive psyop, bro. And I don't know who's pushing the psyop or who's what it is, but there's no way possible. This is where my logic is, right? The same people that are crying that they're saying that the Jews run everything, right? They run it all and they censor and they're pushing all this stuff. Why is it then that Candace Owens has such a large platform? Why is it then that Nick Fuentes has such a large platform? Why is it then that Tucker Carlson has such a large platform? How are they not censored all the way if they control everything? If they control it all? And if
Because they
they're the
don't.
ones that
It's a
got
lie.
Charlie Kirk, how come all of these people still got breath in their body who have said compared, bro, they make Charlie Kirk look like Jesus Christ, bro. How are they not got, but he got by these people because he was thinking about, wasn't even for sure, maybe thinking about turning his stance towards Israel.
Yeah, and then of course Candace, like you said earlier, it's 2018. That text you cannot share a text thread before she went crazy, and I've said she's gone crazy since before you did, just a little bit before you did. You can't share a text thread from 2018 talking about how he was telling her she was the heir apparent, she was the other one. He was talking about how he'd be killed. I thought it was very prophetic of him,
Yeah.
but it had nothing to do when you are looking 7 years ago at a different version of Candace when she did have a ton more potential. To be honest, I think Candace lost her respect from me when she had a chance to go with to interview Trump, and she was such a big anti-vaccine proponent for COVID and didn't hold him to the fire in that one interview. I lost a little bit of respect for her there. And I think then the Kanye thing I kind of liked at first until Kanye went up a rocker and she didn't hold him to account. And then she just kind of fell apart herself. My epiphany that I didn't say earlier is we're in a pretty bad spot. And I'm thankful for Charlie Kirk and the fact that he's kind of shifted this Christian movement. I think it's a big deal. But at the end of the day, for a country, between a lot of dissension in the Trump group, including me, I mean, I would vote for him 10 out of 10 times in the last election, but he's not doing a good job. I don't think this presidency is as good as his first presidency.
No comment.
He's divided, and you can believe
I'm
differently.
biased.
I think the way that he's leading, I think the way that he's leading the country, like he could tone down some of the rhetoric and he's not. And it's getting us to a point where the Republicans are fighting each other. The Democrats we know are completely lost. And the Democrats actually have speaking points now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same token, you've got the leadership. You've got people like Ian Went that I love to follow that I think is for the most part, he's still good, but then he's challenging the Israel stuff a little bit too much. I do think Charlie Kirk was a hit. Do you agree with that? Somebody killed. I mean
I agree.
that wasn't a random angry trans or
I
gay guy
agree that
like that.
there's more things that we still are waiting to see. That's why I feel like it's an active investigation. I believe that there's more at play than what we've been told,
Agreed.
100%. But I don't want to speculate until everything comes out, until we have a trial, until we see
That's
the official FBI report.
well, I don't want to speculate fully unless I see things because here's the thing: no matter what we see, we're not going to know. It's
I
above
feel
our
like
pay
somebody
grade.
paid that dude to do that. That's what I
I
feel. I feel
I think
like
it's above our
somebody
pay grade.
paid that deranged dude to do what he did. But these people that are saying that he didn't do it, like you're in la la land, bro.
I
You
also
are
don't
you.
get how he. I don't get the shot. I stood there 2 weeks ago. I was at this like either he was on the front roof, which was
He
they said
was.
100. The front roof was only a 70-yard shot. That was right there. That was less than 100 yards. The far roof didn't have a great line of sight. The one that I thought it was on didn't have a great line of sight. I stood about 10 feet over from where Charlie would have got shot.
Watch Matt Kester. He did a whole breakdown of it. He did the whole
Okay.
thing. He pulled up the Google Earth and went to the site and showed where exactly where dude was and the line of
Okay.
sight that he had to Charlie, and it was straight on, like straight on. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
okay, so it's got to be the front roof. But either way, what I'm trying to say is there's just so many different factors at play, and everybody's dividing each other. Nobody's happy with the situation, and when you've got influencers like the Candace Owens of the world, like, and I think Tucker Carlson is the big one. It's like, wow, he's now become this kind of odd shill, and I just think our whole political system is about to break, and it's
I
not
agree.
good.
I agree. I don't know what we're gonna do after this. Look, I'm gonna tell you, and I was talking to this yesterday about Lucretia Hughes. Now, and to be fair, let me just say, when it comes to Trump, I am biased. Do I have some things that I am upset about? 100%, but I'm not gonna voice them because he pardoned me. So
Well,
I'm biased. You know what I'm
he's not going
saying?
to unpardon you though, but like
Right, I
the
get it, but I'm just saying he looked out for a lot of people and he held up his word. So I will talk to you privately about those things. I will talk
right.
to him, but I'm not going to come online and say anything because I appreciate him. That's it.
But here's the thing: he still is far better than what we've had, including Obama. Once you look back at what he's done, but the fact is, his first presidency was screwed because of all the impeachment stuff, the lies, but that first presidency was much, in my opinion, much stronger than this one because of the fact that he's gone to that level of he knows he doesn't have to worry about reelection, but he's forgetting about the fact that JD Vance and our people do. And I think that he is giving fuel to a fire that breaks down the Republican Party as well. And I do think now with JD Vance, just I don't know if you saw some of that stuff from the Turning Point event yesterday. With
Now I got
JD
to go back
Vance,
and watch it.
JD Vance was answering questions for an hour. Find another vice president in history that stood in front of a bunch of strangers, many of them MAGA, many of them not, and just answered questions for an hour. And he answered include the Israel answer perfectly. And I believe this too. When people say pull funding for Israel, we've got poor veterans and poor people and all this stuff here. These are when you say that, when people say that, they don't understand how geopolitics works.
Exactly.
we have to have we have to have pockets in different parts of the world and
We
strongholds where
need
we
to, and the
fund
only
them,
pocket that we really have is Israel. That's the main pocket that we have.
and that's all we have. So it's like
Yeah.
we've picked our pony, and if we pull that back now, we've got no support in the Middle East. So people understand that. And honestly, he explained it very well, and he faced the fire. And I do still think that JD Vance is the heir apparent. Um, but if Trump's rhetoric and Homan's rhetoric destroys the Republican Party, we're going to be in trouble for the next election, including the midterms.
Well,
Midterms
they're
this year.
helping to destroy. That's my whole thing, bro. It's like combine that with the things that this administration isn't doing or doing wrong, right? Combine that with the people that were super MAGA that are now switching up and becoming weird leftists. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They sound like for real leftists. And then the social media influencers that are pushing the anti-Semitism and the hate towards Jews, and then the ones that are just questioning Israel. And there's a big difference, everybody. Let's make that real. Just because you question Israel does not make you an anti-Semite. No, talking about the Jews as a whole is what makes you an anti-Semite. Okay, let's get that clear because everybody's like, oh, we can't question Israel. I mean, we'll be called an anti-Semite. That's true. You question Israel, you're not an anti-Semite according to Cash, right? But when you come up on a live and talk about the
Mhm.
Jews, you're an anti-Semite because you're no longer talking about Israel. You're talking about an ethnicity. You're not talking about a nation. You're talking about a people. You see the difference? Come on.
Yeah.
That's what's splintering the
Yeah.
movement. That right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and it's just funny because like people will tell me like, "Did you see what?" Like all my people on the left were like, "Did you see what Trump did?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, I don't like it, and they're like, "See, you're regretting your vote." I'm like, "Have you seen the alternative?" Like, like there's still absolutely zero question that he is the only person that could be leading this country. But again, the fact that he won in such a fashion just at this point, like somebody put in the comments, I just looked at the comments, the whole like memes about the No Kings protest. How about instead of doing a meme where you're shitting on top of people, which is funny for an eighth grade version of Anthony, how about come out and do a 2-minute video of why you're not a king? Like educate the people instead of slam dunk on the people. And it's like there's such an opportunity right
I
now, and he
agree.
can't get out of his own way. That's the
I agree,
problem.
but it was still hilarious. I'm
Still,
sorry to
look
see
at
Harry
Kamala.
Sisson's
Look at
meltdown.
Kamala.
Harry
Jiminy Crickets.
Sisson's
I want to see. Sorry,
Harry Sisson's meltdown
it
over
was
that video,
funny.
bro, was hilarious.
It was. Harry Sisson's a bitch, but Harry Sisson, the fact that he's got a platform is Harry Sisson having a platform is the equivalent to Nick Fuentes being given a platform, but in a much more dangerous fashion. Because here's the problem: Nick Fuentes is far more intelligent than Harry Sisson,
Hmm.
so he's got the ability to manipulate better. Harry Sisson, anybody that listens to him is weird. You're just it's the lower fruit of the rung. And Harry Sisson also like has all these girls that have, the fact that he's still got a platform for what he's done. Like all these girls came out about how he was really mean to them in DMs when they wouldn't sleep with him and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, bro.
Well, bro,
Meanwhile, you got Don.
society is broken, bro. Let me tell you something. And I'm sorry, but I gotta talk about the white supremacists. I got to, because this is hilarious to me. You have a Nick Fuentes who is a Mexican. Okay? He's Mexican. And you have
Is
Gypsy
he?
Crusader, who is a gypsy. He's part Jewish and Eastern Indian or whatever it is. These two guys are cosplaying white racist and leading movements, okay, where people are super racist in their comments and they're super racist, and they're all the white supremacists underneath them are literally following people of color. Like, this is what I'm like,
Yeah.
what world am I living in? The super racists are not even white people that are leading a white movement.
I know you haven't been a huge fan of Tatum in a while, but
I've been watching
he's
him
been
lately.
doing
I've came back around. He's been doing pretty good.
he's been doing good, and I'm gonna message him because he's been taken. If you look at his comment section, like you look at the comment section when he's like slamming on Nick Fuentes, and they're like, "Oh, what are you trying to ride his coattails?" I'm like, Tatum's been bigger for far longer, and
He's
him and I
been,
have
yeah.
disagreed. Him and I have disagreed. Sometimes he's over pro police. Like I'm like, you got to call that stuff out. But from a political standpoint, I've always liked him. What you might not know, because I think you were probably still in jail, is right before October 7th, he had just gotten back from Israel. Like he had been there right around then, and he saw the geopolitics of the area. He felt how it was a holy, land, and he felt all this stuff. And right now, every time, and the reason I know that some of this is bullshit is because I did one post that was like pro-Jewish, and somebody's like, "Oh, did you enjoy your $7,000?" I'm like, so they're just anybody that says anything pro-Israel,
That's what I've
pro-Jewish,
been
or
getting.
anti-guys. Yeah, you're getting 7 grand for every pro-Israel post. So,
Yeah, that's what
but
I've been getting bankrolled over here, bro. Ask my moderator. She said it. I'm getting, I might as well get funded the way that I talk. Yeah, well, if I could. But this is what they don't tell you, and this is how brain dead people are. Okay, that
yeah,
fund that Bibi Netanyahu set aside. Do you know how much money was in the fund to help fund content creators to make pro Israel posts?
like 10 million, maybe. I don't know.
$900,000, bro.
Hmm.
So that's
That
what?
gets spread real fast.
What is that? Like 128 videos?
If you're doing it, it's 7,000 a piece. Yes.
Come
It's
on.
just it's ridiculous. And Tatum's been facing the fire of people like every time that he's just giving his own his comment section's ugly. Like his comment section has people saying like, what did Nick Fuentes say wrong there? And I'm like, did you not just listen to it? Like, are we like maybe the Democrats are right. Maybe we are white supremacists in many ways.
And I swear, bro, that's
Maybe we are
exactly
just
how I've
as
been
bigoted. But
feeling.
when you've got
Straight up.
that's what I feel. I look at it and I'm like, this because remember, Cash, I was a Democrat my whole life until 20 somewhere in the 2012, 13, 14 area. And like the stuff that I'm like, no, the Republicans they don't feel that way anymore about Jews or black people or
No,
minority,
well, we're
any of that
starting to
stuff. And
see
then
different.
I see all the stuff under Nick Fuentes and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. It's
whoops.
got me scratching my head. Like I'm this close to saying, you know what, guys? I'm about to just call myself a centrist, conservative Trump supporter, and I don't identify with the left or the right because over here on the left they're super crazy and radical, and then over here on the right, most of them that I see in the comments of people's stuff now are racist, except if they follow me. They're the only ones, and even some of them are coming out of the woodworks as kind of Jew haters, you know.
Hmm.
So it's like, hey,
Yeah. And like, even when one of the lines that Tucker Carlson said when they were talking about Gaza, and he's like, well, some people would, he's talking about how, you and I talked about this a long time ago. I don't call it a genocide. I call it a war that was a really bad ass kicking. Like, never before to me in history has there ever been hostages released in order to make a genocide stop. That's not how it works. But
Facts.
it was an ugly war, and I do think there was war crimes. I can say that, there's war
Facts.
crime. We have committed so many war crimes as Americans, with
Facts.
Henry Kissinger all the way to now. It's just the way that war is done. It's dirty. It's ugly. But when Tucker Carlson leaned on the whole, it really wasn't a war line. I'm like, wow, he really came that far. He came that far to the other side. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think any intel. I'm sorry if some of the people in the comments are gonna not like this, because they probably will. Any intelligent person that thinks that that was a genocide, to me, is ignorant and stupid.
I'm telling you, bro, I couldn't agree with you more. And it's crazy how far, like, I ain't gonna lie. Coming home from prison, I came a long way, because at first before it became popular, you know, I was the main one making Jewish conspiracy videos. You remember my little videos? I was down a whole rabbit hole, but I
Hmm.
kept studying. I kept reading. I kept on going and trying to disprove what I'm saying, because people are like, no, that's not true. So I started digging into both sides. And the truth always lies somewhere in the middle. And it's like, yo, we're fed a whole bunch of propaganda about Israel, about Jews. And in the same sense, we're given the opposite, the propaganda for Israel and for Jews. You
There's
know what I'm saying?
propaganda on both sides. Yeah.
On both sides. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. The truth is, and when you start looking at this is what I did, because I was I was real big into, they run everything. They run the media. They run all this. So I started looking into the companies, right? The companies aren't ran by any one person. They got shareholders, right? And everybody makes decisions. And a lot of these companies that have shareholders, some of them are from African countries, Indian countries, Pakistan, America. They're from all over, China, that are all shareholders. And yes, some of them are Jewish. But to say that they all run the media because they only point out the executives that are Jewish, that are a part of this company, that's disingenuous, because most people don't know even how companies are run. So it's easy for them just to see a Jewish face and say, oh, it's the Jews. And that's where I had to
Yeah.
bring myself out of.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, and it fell and started crying. Camera. I was gonna end it with, from a propaganda perspective, you're right. There's propaganda on both sides, absolutely, no doubt. The thing that I find interesting still to this day is that for the first time in history, a nation was attacked where the equivalent of their per capita population murdered was, as if in the United States it would have been tens of thousands of people. So the October 7th attack. And people are going to say, but Anthony, I think Bibi let that happen. It's possible. I'm not gonna, because I can't prove it either way. But here's the thing: when a hitman is hired, the way that they were activated, the way that the Hamas was activated, was because of the fact they were relishing at the fact that they hate the Jewish people. So he might have used that fuel, but the crazy thing is, at the end of the day, never before, and I don't know where, if it's Saudi money, I don't know what money it is, that there was enough propaganda positioning to flip the script within 1 week. I remember it was
It was
within one
TikTok.
week of the within 1 week of the attack. All of a sudden, the country that had 1,300 people murdered was the enemy and not the victim, and the country that they were retaliating against became the victim. I've never seen anything like that. I don't think we ever will, and I would love to know how that happens. So yes, there's propaganda on both sides, but the propaganda from the opposing side, you've got gay people marching for a country that would kill
That
them
will
if they
throw them
went
off the
there.
roof. Yeah.
It's And then they would make people go, no, that's actually a lie, that's not true. And then the whole thing of, like, they would use themselves as Hamas would use themselves as have human shields underneath the hospitals, which has been done for decades. We knew,
Mm-hmm.
like, since Hamas came in power. No, that's not a true story anymore. Now that it's being done, it's like, wow, it's pretty impressive. Whoever was their marketing team was very, very impressive, and they beat Israel at their own game, because Israel does have a great propaganda department,
Facts.
but they won quickly and they won decisively, and for now from 2 years. So
Yeah. No, you're
yeah, is that
100% correct, bro. I blame TikTok. TikTok.
possible?
TikTok, bro, flooded pro Hamas, pro Palestine propaganda, fake videos of children being like blown up and all types of stuff. They flooded it. So that's what switched the narrative, because TikTok is where you first started to see all the hate, and then it spread. And people, remember, everywhere on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, those videos from TikTok were shared everywhere on all the other platforms. That's what it was. TikTok was a tool, bro, that they use, because that's where all the young people are. All the young people are on TikTok, and they captured the youth.
Yep. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you one other thing, but I forgot. I haven't said this out yet. So there was a dude, and I don't know, could be completely coincidental. I met him at BYU because I was at we're right by that camp. We were right by the UVU campus. Anyways, him and I started talking because he got trampled in the morning. We became friends, buddies. I put him in the front, so he's a big dude. And he found me on Instagram or something like that. And we were talking, but he was sixth row when Charlie Kirk got killed. And I was like, I want to talk more about it. And he's like, yeah, I would love to, whatever. We got on Instagram together, and his Instagram account disappeared 3 days ago.
What?
He's no longer an active user on Instagram. It could be a complete coincidence, but like the last message I said was, we still have to talk about what you thought, Charlie Kirk. Gone.
Maybe he blocked you. Maybe he thinks you're a Fed.
He wanted to, because he goes, I went down, we had a long talk. It wasn't like that at all. He's like, I went down the rabbit hole, like at the 2 days after. He's like, I stayed in my room. I was looking at all what people were saying, what happened. And I watched it. Like, he goes, I saw it. I go, did you see the blood? And I asked him about that. Like, why was there no blood here and all this? And he's like, he was, even being right there, he had a lot of like conspiracy theories as well. But we were just going to talk about it. And then his accounts, I'm like, I haven't heard anything from him in a bit. I go check, and it's like, account unavailable.
Dang, bro.
It's weird, dude.
Don't tell Candace Owens that. Don't tell Candace Owens that, bro.
I mean, I do think there's something really fishy. Like, it's 2025. Why do we only have 5 camera angles? Everybody had their phones out. Where's all this footage? What about the guy
I think that they got more. I think that there's more camera footage, bro. Honest to God, I think that when we go into this trial, that you're going to see videos that ain't nobody seen, that was turned over to the feds, that people had, that
maybe.
That's it's how it always happens. You look at any case, bro.
Yeah, but they want it to be a closed trial.
Huh?
They're trying to make it a closed trial where we don't see anything.
Are you for real?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. They didn't want cameras in the courtroom, and they didn't want people to be able to they didn't want the outside people to see what was going on.
Okay,
I don't know if it won. I don't know if that
if that
passed.
wins, then then that's a little fishy, bro.
No, there's some stuff. But anyways, I got to catch my flight.
Go ahead, bro.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. All right.
Hasta la bagel.
That's fishy. Okay, that is fishy. Let me see. I'm about to Google this. No, I'm going to chat GPT it. Let's see. Let's find out if this is real, because that's pretty strange. Let's see. How would you word that? The Tyler Robinson trial going to be televised. Yes. Yes, it is going to be televised. Okay. We're good. All right. Because I was about to say, yeah, there's something fishy going on right there. I mean, not to say that there's not something fishy going on still. There is. Like, I definitely agree that there are some strange things happening, that are surrounding this case. Let me make that clear. There is some questions that I have, right? But I'm not accusing Trump or the feds or his friends for the fishiness. I'm saying let's wait and find out. That's what I'm saying. And too many people are jumping the gun. My bad. I got to update my payment real quick, guys. My bad. There we go. Instant. All right, boom. There we go. Cool. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. Who's to know? I just know that you guys pissed me off this morning. That was on my Facebook. Talking crazy. You really did. You upset me. But it's all right. I'm over it now. I've calmed down. I have calmed down. We're good. We're all good, everybody. We're all good. Praying for Candace Owens, as I said. I'm going to pray for Candace, right? Because what she's doing is wrong. Not the part of her asking questions. We're entitled to ask questions, right? That's your right as an American. Everybody asks questions. But if you think that it's not wrong that she is trying to implicate Trump, that she is trying to implicate McCoy, that she is trying to implicate whoever, the people that were in that little group chat that she shared, the Bill Aikman guy, all the people, everyone. She literally said everyone, that he was betrayed by everyone and has not shown any proof, you guys, that he was betrayed by anyone. Okay. That's my problem with her. You made a bold statement. You say Charlie Kirk. Matter of fact, I'm not done. I want you guys to see what I seen yesterday, right? With old Candy. Old Candy. Let me see. Let's pull this out real quick. Because I started to watch the show yesterday. I didn't finish it because I got aggravated. And I get aggravated quite a bit. I got angry yesterday because I don't know if you guys watched the show, but she started talking crazy about Don Jr., right? Giving, just you're right, do your thing. But the way that she went about it, let me pull it up. Talking about Don Jr., she's disappointed in him because he trusts the FBI narrative, okay? And the way that she does it, and this is why I say she is the queen. Let me see. Here we go. Let's pull her up here. Let's go ahead and pull her up, guys. Share this tab instead. Right here. Check this out.
Very much helped to build Turning Point USA. He was there, okay? He did a ton of early story, okay? And like I said, I know how Charlie felt about Don Trump Jr. So when Megyn Kelly asked him what he thought about the investigation into Charlie's assassination, I was expecting him to say, I think it's crap. But that is not what he said. In fact, he did his best not to answer the question, as you'll see. And then Megyn Kelly holds him to it, and then you'll hear what he says. Take a listen.
So here she's painting it already in your mind. She's telling you what she perceives so that you can perceive it now as you watch the clip. This is her tactics. It's easy.
How do you feel about the investigation into Charlie's death? Can we have faith in it? Do you feel like it's being well handled?
So far, so far so good. I think, I've had this conversation with a lot of the guys that have been, very involved from the beginning, and others that are a big part of that movement that are going to take, more of a role. Guys like JD, like, hey, he believes we have to keep this going. People, myself, hey, I did a lot of them, but I got to do even more. We got to keep this going. There's never going to be a replacement for Charlie Kirk. You can't plug that in. But if we can find 10 people that can do 10% of what he did, and they go all in and do that, we can keep that alive. And honestly, we all owe that to him.
Okay. Nothing strange. He answered the question with certainty. Yeah, so far so good. Nothing strange. And now he wants to keep the legacy alive, right? They want to keep it going. That's what Don Jr. said. Okay? Cut. She's cutting. Let's see what she says.
To round back, do you have confidence in the investigation? Should we have confidence in this FBI investigating?
I do. And I mean, I don't know. I don't like it when the people have the private, but I've spoken to everyone, around, and Erica, and like
that key part right there. I've spoken to everybody around. I've spoken to Erica. So for everybody talking about what's Erica Kirk doing, Erica Kirk is being quiet. She lost her husband. She's grieving, right? But Don said he talked to Erica, right? Because the question was about the feds, right? The investigation, FBI.
Like, I do have confidence. And, when I start seeing some of the other stuff, it's like, man. And by the way, just so we're clear, as you all probably know, if you're here, you probably follow me a little bit. Like, I'm about as conspiratorial as it gets within the realm of sanity for.
And I'm the same way. What he say? For
good cause, right?
good
I think
cause.
I was the guy that first said, like, the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is usually about 6 months.
Facts. Okay. But you heard what he just said. Let's not go past that, right? He thinks they're doing a good job. He hears all the stuff out there, and he's into conspiracies, right? Listen.
I was the guy canceled for pushing all of the obvious things that were conspiracy theories that, Wuhan or whatever it may be, lab virus leak. The problem is that there is a cottage industry of just clicks and people.
Right there, he's talking about people like Candace, people like Tucker, people like Nick Fuentes.
That are more than happy to profiteer, off of that. Again, I'm not saying that a lot of.
You see, look at her. Watch her when he says this. Look at Candace Owens when he says this, you guys. Look at her reaction. Look at her.
All of the obvious things that were conspiracy theories that, Wuhan or whatever it may be, lab virus leak. The problem is that there is a cottage industry of just clicks and people that are more than happy to profiteer, off of that. Again, I'm not saying that a lot of this stuff isn't real.
Look at that. That right there says, ooh, guilty. She felt convicted in that moment. Ooh. He didn't say my name, but he said what I'm doing. That's what that was. That's what that was right there. Body language. She felt that. And she should, because he's talking about people like her.
It isn't true, and I've been pushing all of that, but
one more time.
At first said, like, the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is usually about 6 months. I was the guy canceled for pushing all of the obvious things that were conspiracy theories that, Wuhan or whatever it may be, lab virus leak. The problem is that there is a cottage industry of just clicks and people that are more than happy to profiteer, off of that. Again, I'm not saying that a lot of this stuff isn't real and isn't true, and I've been pushing all of that, but some of the stuff does get a little bit off the rails, and I think you're really
look at she made another face. You seen her? Some of the stuff does get a little off the rails, and she can't hide the body language. She's uncomfortable, fidgeting, moving, demons crawling underneath the skin.
It's been used even by the other side as a way to distract from the bigger picture of what happened to him, of what the other side has proven that they are actually willing to do.
Man, oh man.
To answer your question, D, can she turn off her demonetization for her Kirk video? She definitely can. You could turn off monetization for any video. 100%. She ain't gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. You dreaming if you think she's gonna do that.
So much I want to say to that clip. Okay, the first thing that I want to say is that Don Trump Jr. is not a bad guy. Not a bad guy. Don Trump Jr. is probably maybe akin in some ways to Mikey McCoy. I look at Mikey McCoy. I don't know Mikey McCoy at all. And I don't think he's an evil person. I think he is in the shadow of his father, right? I think he's in the shadow of his father. I think Don Jr. has been probably in the shadow of his father his entire life because.
That's hate right there. She's hating so hard, trying to discredit. He's in the shadow of his father. He's just in the shadow of his dad.
What he's saying when he begins to credentialize himself and said, I was up at the Wuhan, I said this about COVID, blah, blah. That's all true. That's the real Don Trump Jr. He was actually one of the people that was the most vocal about the Jeffrey Epstein files until Dad said, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, right? And that's what I mean when I say someone who is in the shadow of his father. And it's a tough situation to be in. So I do want to be charitable in terms of thinking of that particular dynamic when.
You ain't never in your life tried to be charitable. Cut it out. You trying to discredit him right now. You bring up the Epstein files as if, that makes what he's saying invalid. He didn't stop talking about it because his dad, whatever. Obviously, this is where my brain goes with it, right? They know something that we don't know. I think that there may be things at play that we just don't know. That's all. It does not discredit Don Jr.
Dad is saying this needs to be done, and you have to carry on knowing that you had a real relationship with Charlie, because you did have a real relationship with Charlie. But Don, from me to you, it's better to say nothing. Okay?
Y'all notice she got a booger right there in her nose right here. I keep noticing it. It's just hanging right there. She got a booger. Sometimes it is better to say nothing, though. You should say nothing, Candace. And this is funny coming from Candace, that sometimes it's just better to say nothing, because everybody on here right now that agrees with Candace is like, well, she's entitled to her opinion. She can say what she feels. Why can't Don say what he feels? Why is it better to say nothing? Because it goes against you? Because he just triggered you, Candace? Is that why?
It's better to say, I'm just not going to answer that question. The best way you could honor Charlie Kirk, if you can't fight for him for some reason, is to simply say nothing.
If you can't fight for him, again, she's leading people to believe that there is something to fight for other than a conviction of the person that took the shot. Beyond that, we'll find out if there's anything more. And I believe that there is. Honestly, I believe somebody paid, dude. I have no proof of that. It's just my brain goes there because it's like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know, that dude would throw away his entire life, him being as smart as he was. So in my mind, somebody paid him to do it. That's just where I go with it. But I could be wrong. See what I said that Candace won't say? I could be wrong. This dude could have just been mentally ill. He could have been so triggered that he just wanted to do it. It could be really that simple, right? So I could be wrong, and it could be that simple. Candace, you could take a note from me right now and do that. Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you what I feel, but I could be wrong. She doesn't. No, she doubles down. She's right. Everybody else is wrong. And she got a booger in her nose. It's right there. And she hadn't got it through the whole show. It just stayed there. And nobody told her. You should fire your crew because you got a booger in your nose. Okay?
Because I looked at this clip and it bothered me for a lot of reasons, Don, because I know who you are. I know who you are. You're a hunter. You love to hunt, Don, right? Every picture of you, you're in the wilderness. Your whole life, you love to be in the wild. In fact, you taught me a lot about the wild and a lot about hunting. And my favorite fishing experience is actually with you, right? Fighting back the sea lions or the seals in British Columbia.
So now we pivot. Come on, man. Come on. So you're trying to appeal to the man by talking about you was hunting baby seals? Remember, we were out there clubbing baby seals. It was my fondest memory of hunting. You're a hunter. Don, you're a hunter. You should be hunting the people that did this to Charlie. Because it's not right. Because I say it's not. That's what you got to do, Don. That's what you got to do. Don't trust the feds, bro. You got to trust me. There's people that need to be hunted, and you're a hunter. You're a Viking.
You know nature. And I'm not going to ask you to go back against the nature of honoring your father. But I am going to ask you not to lie. And as a hunter, if you are not lying, and this is truly what you believe, you trust the investigation, I'm going to need you to make a video saying that you...
Here she goes. Here she goes. Let's stop it. Here she goes. I'm going to need you to provide something. If you really believe what you believe, I need you to provide something to me. Whole time. She's been talking to the people, wanting them to believe what it is that she's saying and not providing anything. But we're wrong for telling her to show the proof of what you got? Y'all not seeing this. I require something from everybody. Turning Point USA, I want you to issue a statement. I want you to show me the documents. I want you to show me the proof. Don Jr., I want you to make a video. I want you to post it. 2 minutes long. And it better be more than 10 sentences. What? This is getting too easy. And the people that are going along with this, come on, man. I think y'all got a problem.
You believe that Charlie was shot by a .30-06.
That booger is bothering me. It really is. It's right there in her right nostril. You know, if you're looking at the screen to the right, it's right there. It's just hanging
in the neck. And that somehow, through the miracle of God, Charlie's neck stopped a 30-06. Not only stopped a 30-06, but was pretty much in good shape, not even destroyed. His neck was.
Candace, how the hell do you know if he was pretty much in good shape? And how do you know that that's what Don believes? Obviously, if he was shot with that 30-06 and it did, in fact, get lodged underneath his skin, which you say the bullet, if it is from a 30-06, got lodged inside of him, then it blew everything out. It's like blown down. The same thing with Martin Luther King. When Martin Luther King got hit with that high-powered rifle, when it got stuck in, everything was blown down. It's inside, internal damage. You're not going to see with your physical eyes, Candace. Oh my God.
Not even destroyed by a 30-06. That kind of a miracle, Don.
You got a booger in your nose.
You know hunting, you know guns. And so I'm asking you if this is truly what you believe, to clarify that matter. Make a video, sit down with me, look me in the eye and say, Candace, I really do think that Charlie, our friend, because you are his friend, you were his brother, stopped a 30-06 with his neck, which stayed intact.
It severed his spine. It severed his spine. And I could guarantee you when everything comes out, they're going to say it was just bad inside. Shrapnel just everywhere. Candace, you are something else. You are something else, man. For real. And you got a booger in your nose. And you ain't get it out the whole show. And nobody told you. And I'm glad that this video's out and everybody can see you with a booger in your nose as you tell this BS.
You won't say that, Don. You won't say that because it's untrue. And I think that spiritually it would mess with you. And the hunters that are listening know that you don't believe that. You know too much. Okay. So again, I'm going to ask you, if you cannot say anything, I understand the ties that bind. I understand Jared and Ivanka and their investments in Israel and the pressure that's coming from the Zionists, to simply be.
Oh my God. Did y'all hear all of that? Like, in her mind, it's just all there, you know? It's just all there. And that's why she's crazy. Like, it's just, she believes, like bro, schizophrenia, bro. Schizo. Real talk. Schizophrenia, bro.
Be quiet. As his other brothers and sisters and people in the movement, people who don't even know Charlie, get to the bottom of this, because everything we're being sold is absolute BS. That's my request to you.
Everything that's being sold to us by you seems like complete BS. That's what it feels like to me. Real talk. And binary. Why do you care if she's wrong? Most trying to silence her are afraid she'll see. Here you go. You're doing a Candace right now. You're assuming right now. This is what you just did. Most trying to silence her are afraid that she'll stumble onto the truth along the way. So you're telling me that I'm scared that she's going to stumble upon a truth, and I'm binary. Cut it out. So full-fledged public attack mode. I defend her right, as I would hate to see you an attack on you. Dude, you're the one in here attacking for me, questioning Candace Owens. What are you talking about? Y'all just don't see your own, like, hypocrisy. Don't question Candace. Don't you dare question Queen Candace. We're stuck in Candyland. Don't you talk about the Queen of Candyland. Cut it out, bro. Cut it out. She's ridiculous. No more airtime for Candace. So yeah, it's gotten far too easy, you guys. It really has. It's gotten far too easy to pick this chick apart. You know, especially with her not showing any proof of anything. That part right there. She doesn't have the right to accuse without the evidence. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because Don Jr. just shamed her without saying her name. He shamed her actions. He called out the sin, right? He didn't call out the sinner. He called out the sin. These people that are profiteers, you know, that are profiting, getting paid to say all these crazy things. He called it crazy. He called her crazy in her mind. So now, Don, you're a hunter, okay? You remember we were clubbing baby seals together off the shores of Nova Scotia? You remember that? It's my fondest memory of hunting. We killed that baby seal together. You're a hunter. So I need you to make a video because you're a hunter and you know guns. And I want you to make a video. And I want you to, you sound ridiculous, bro. Who are you? Who are you to make to tell somebody that they got to give you something when you over here telling everybody what to believe, leading people into what to believe without giving them anything? Come on. Come on. Remember, she changed her mind about the facts. First, she said it didn't. Then she said it did. Yeah, exactly. But we can see that. You know, the sane people of the world can see that. Candyland people cannot see that. I love my Candyland people, but you're turning in to little leftist slowly. It's like you're being infected and you don't even realize it. You're being infected by the Candyland propaganda. No facts. All feelings and vibes. No facts. None. But you accept it. You accept it. Okay? That being said, guys, God bless y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I'm so glad I got this all out. Man, to the people on my Facebook that come in my comments talking crazy. And God bless you. That's how I say that. God bless you. That's all. Hope y'all have a good day. Unite. Don't fight. Be a street light, because only you could be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart. You could end up schizophrenic, like Candace, from my point of view, the way that I see it. My feeling and my vibe is that Candace is suffering from a mental illness, maybe schizophrenia or maybe something like it. These feelings of grandeur, you know, these feelings of knowing, living in a reality that's not reality at all. Fantasyland, seeing visions and prophecies and hearing voices and, you know, peace.